Okay, so guys, once again, balanced patch reviews. So far I hear mixed reviews between people either really liking it or not liking it at all. I think if you don't like it, probably your LD is not addressed, and if you do like it, then units that you do use are addressed, I guess. So yeah, first of all, we have the Gorgo starts in the statue state. It starts in the statue state for 50% chance. Nice, that's a good nerf, because this thing is yeah, this thing is just, it was dumb. It was just really, really dumb. So I think that that's a fine change. We got the Fire Trish with the third skill. So for the people that don't know the Fire Trish, it's that third skill that absorbs the attack bar and then leaves the branding and then also cleansing it. So it's kind of a loaded third skill it has. It's increased by damage, that's nice, and increased critical damage if you land a crit. I kind of like that. I actually do think I kind of like that, because it is fine. Then we have the Dark Trish, and her ignored defense goes from 30 to 50% for every harmful effect granted on the enemy. So that just makes it a lot easier to max her, full immune or like ignore defense out. Thing is, we didn't even know the number. Like, it didn't say the number of 30 over here. And now it says like 30 to 50. Like, might as well put that in the game in the first place. Fine, I guess. Base damage has been slightly reduced due to... Okay, so they actually nerfed that. So it's actually became worse with like a Maxi or an FDs, technically. Okay, fine, I guess. So then we have the Water Jennifer, which is that is one of the units that I already claimed kind of decent. This is like the multi-hit of 3 times, so 3 times the chance for stun, that becomes 3 times 70% chance for stun, and 50 to 70 also for the remove harmful effect. So I would say that this is definitely usable. So before, the rates were like 3 times 50. I'm not sure if it goes up by skill ups. No, it doesn't go up by skill ups, but 3 times 70 is probably one of the best odds we have in game of landing shit. So that's definitely not bad. Then we have the Fire one, spreads harmful effect granted on the target to a random target from 50 to 100. Yeah, that makes absolutely sense, because spreading it sometimes made absolutely no sense, because the target that you spread it to was already random, and then you have a random chance of actually spreading to a random target, and then you could spread something to a target that already has that shit. So is she going to be useful because of that? I'm still not sure. It's still a little bit too random for me, but she could be used. She does have the Oblivion and she does have the Silence, but it could be okay. It could be okay. Then we have the Light one. So this one is the passive was activated when removing a harmful effect, or the enemy remove harmful effect, so cleanse. The passive is activated when the enemy removes a beneficial effect or an ally removes harmful effects on the enemy. Okay. So wait. Enemy removes beneficial effect. Yeah, the passive is activated when the enemy removes harmful effects. So that's... Yeah, so cleansing, yes. And now it's also when stripping, I guess. But then stripping on the enemy side and also cleansing on your... Or, well, yeah, cleansing on your side, stripping on the enemy side, and cleansing on the enemy side. That's kind of the thing. So in this case, after the passive, increase the attack bar of the ally with the highest attack bar by 30. So you're always going to be overloading attack bar with that, I guess. Yeah, it kind of thinks like a light hay gang. That's kind of what it is. The only thing is that it's stripping on the enemy side, isn't it? When the enemy removes beneficial effects, or when an ally... Yeah, so it's... You're boosting when... That is, for some reason, kind of interesting. But is it that interesting? I'm not sure. It's too early for me to think straight, so we do have that part going on, but... I don't know. Yeah, I guess Clara and Net Force, like she's a hard counter to Clara and Net Force, but you don't see those all too much, I guess. I could say like a Dark Seri counter as well, because in the end Dark Seri also strips. And then you have a chance to cleanse stuff, so... But then again, it's boosting just one, so... Kinda depends what your follow-up on top of that is as well. But I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Now we have the Static Shock, which is this shitty skill that denies turns, speed for 1 turn, silence for 2 turns. Ooh, I like that. Does it go up in rate? It doesn't go up in rate. But 70% silences is kind of like iffy. But I do like the silence in there, because before it was like just waiting for something to proc out, and now at least you can semi-succeed him by silencing. So that would be an interesting thing. Light Yen is a counter to Heigang right now, technically, because she has Oblivion in her kit. So you could make it. I kind of wonder like how the interaction between the two is, because kind of they both do the same thing. So it might be a thing that you can counter Heigang with it, because you can put the Oblivion on the Heigang later as well. So it is an option, I guess. Then we have the Coco, and recovers for 10% for every sphere that's counterattacked. So that's actually not too bad. We did see in the Summoners War Europe League that we had one Coco on Vampire, and I think Coco is pretty much a must on Fire, because you have to Fire proc skill 3 into skill 2 to kill shit. But having a slight bit of recovery on Coco is actually maybe not too bad. Then we have Asher, which removes harmful effects, recover, okay, removes harmful effects granted on you and an ally with the lowest HP, and then recover both of them 30. So kind of starts becoming like a Beast Monk Meditate kind of style. I think it would be nice Siege offense, Siege defense. I still don't really see the unit being used, simply because I don't think there's a Windy addressing thing in this. And this thing will just full rampage on Windy every time it has the chance, so for that reason it's not that great. Then we have the Polar Queen Water, Frost Rush from 25% to 35% freeze. I kind of like that, actually. And the reason why I like that is because you probably have a chance to go simply skill 3 into skill 2 in any kind of cleave state. And that does do a lot of damage. So it's 3 times 35 chance. There, like if you AoE that, there's very good odds that at least something is frozen. So from that reason, you can go skill 3 into skill 2 pretty easily. And I kind of like that. I think that's pretty decent of a change. We got Prygon with a tier 1er, appreciate it. So a decent change over there. We got 5 Fairy King that decreases the target, or wait, decreases the HP of yourself and the enemy target by 40%. I have no clue what that is supposed to do, but fine, I guess. Still a shitty unit that has to land shit, otherwise it's not going to do anything. When attacked by the enemy destroyed, there's a chance of glancing up to 30 in proportion to the enemy max HP. Okay, so that's not that interesting. I think still just a siege unit, but even there, not that interesting. Devil Maiden Fire, continuous damage for 2 turns, 2 continuous damage for 1 turn with each hit. Okay. It's a little bit different, I guess. Where do we have the Devil Maiden? So it's hitting 3 times, okay, and then decrease the attack bar with each hit, okay. And now we have, wait, then you can actually stack a lot of debuffs on it, because technically you could hit 6. It's 6 times a 1 turn though, which in the end is kind of the same thing as this. But 6 times a 1 turn is pretty deadly for a lot of stuff, so I would say that could be a better replacement for a Rika. Yeah, with the Seth together, it's definitely not bad. So could be a nice replacement with the Rika and the dot team. I will probably use this in the dot team for sure. What's the skill 2? It's also a strip. Wait, then all of the units have a strip on that as well. Oh, that's actually not bad. Yeah, we'll probably try her out for the dot team. I do think it's pretty decent. Then we have the Water and Dark, which have grant threat rate on the ally target 2 times. Wait, what is the threat effect on the ally targets for 2? But isn't that the skill that does like this? Okay. Okay. So that's the reflect harmful effect. I thought for a second it was this skill, and I'm like, how the hell are you gonna threat state while doing this skill? No, it's this one. It's the trap. And then you have like the reflect harmful effects, and you have to target it. So, okay. Interesting-ish. I don't think it's super great, but interesting-ish. It's not that bad. I don't really think it would become meta or anything, but I would say it's kind of okay-ish. Then we have the Dark one, which was arguably one of the worst units in the game, but we have a lot of people fighting for the worst unit in the game. Okay, so we have the defense, all enemies for 50%, and it's now decrease attack power and defense for 75. Does it go up in number? Wait, is that's probably during this form, I guess. Yep, okay, does not go up or down in number. Still kind of shitty-ish, but at least 75 is a lot better to work with than 50. If the defense is already... wait, you decrease attack power and defense for 2 turns, 75 chance. If the defense is already decreased, decrease the attack power for 50% chance. Wait, your chances get lower? Wait, what? Wait, what? Why does that make sense? Am I reading that right? It's like 75% for both, which if you already have one, then it's 50. I don't know. That makes kind of no sense, I guess. Before the arrow is used to be, yeah, okay, so this is used to be, okay, so, yeah, so it used to be 50 and then 50, and now it's just like the whole thing, and if you already have that, then you stun. Okay, I get it. So, first hit is like 75, if you get both of them on 75, the next hit is you get that stun with 50. Did it used to stun already? Yeah, kind of. It's just a higher chance to get towards the activation right now, I guess. And now it's not 3 checks, but 2 checks. Or 3 times, like you have to hit 2 times rather than 3 times. Still kind of a shitty unit. Like, I'm still not really liking it. This is also like, I read this one and I'm like, why is this a thing? Like Archangel's Water, Wind, Light. Archangel Blessing, the cooldown goes -1. And I think this cooldown actually goes down a few more times. Not sure if it's a few, but it goes down some. Oh yeah, it actually goes down 2 more times. So you're gonna have the healing every other time. Okay, that's quite a lot of healing, I guess. And then the recovery amount is reduced. So you have a lot more like defense uptime, I would say. I think that's like for an Arda, you can permanently have defense buff on yourself then. Yeah, I guess so. Someone in the guild was complaining about Arda nerf. I wouldn't call Arda that can provide defense buff on himself permanently a nerf, to be honest. Because in the end, Arda does damage from counters. So I would say that this is definitely a buff for Arda. Because you can have permanent defense buff up. And defense buff is 70% defense up, which is a lot, especially for an Arda. So I would say it's definitely a buff. Is it really crazy? I don't know. Like, it's... Yeah, I think the healing, like, nerfing a little bit is fine, though. But I think it's definitely a buff for those units. However, don't really think that these units are going to be used all too much. But the defense buff is definitely one of the stronger buffs in the game, I would say. Then we have the Water Ifrit. Increase your attack bar by 30 when you receive a fatal attacks. That's weird, though, because you gain... that. No, I actually think that's bad. That's kind of nerfing a Theomars on Revenge-ish. Does it really change anything? Oh, it gives you less time to get stripped and shit. But you get Endure. Like, why do you need to get Endure and get rid of your Endure pretty fast? That's kind of a thing, right? But, okay, I guess so. Then we have the Wind one on the... Yeah, like, it could be that you get rid of your Endure too fast. So, I don't know. Especially on Revenge, it's a little bit worse. We got the Macrush, Wind, Disturb HP recovery for 2 turns. Okay. Wait, that's probably your second, or no, is it your third? That's your third. It's actually not bad because it does damage by, whether we do or do not like the debuff that gets on it, at least it is a debuff and it does defense, or like enemy debuffs scaling kind of bullshit. So that part is nice, I guess. We got the Paladin's Light of Prayer, grants invisibility for 2 turns if there was no harmful effect removed. Wasn't that already kind of there? Like, or was it just a 1-turn thing? I don't remember. Like, I barely use these units ever. Where the hell is Lewis at? This one, it's 1 turn. Okay, so it does it normally in 1 turn, and then it's 2 turns if there was nothing cleansed for. So if there is something cleansed for, then you still get a 1-turn one. Okay, not great, not bad. We have Collapse that counterattacks with 30 to 40%, so now 40 if you receive a counter when the skill's on cooldown. is a nice buff to Rakan. We do tend to see a bunch of Rakans on arena defense, so it was slightly buff those, I guess. I think besides arena defense, you don't see Rakan anywhere. Then we have all of the Indras, which have the... You could have written this in one line. Like, I don't know why they do that in like multiple lines, but whatever. Makes it look bigger. Bigger the better. Okay. So we have all of the cooldowns of the Thunder States. Oh no, wait, all of the cooldowns of... Are those the Thunder States? I don't even know. I don't use these units, man. They're just crap. Is this gonna make them good? Okay, so it's getting back in your Thunder State, I guess. Okay. I see. So if you're not in your Thunder State, getting back your Thunder State is going to be faster. You guys tell me if that's good. I don't use these units and I probably still won't be using them afterwards. Like, I don't think it's that great. We have the Twins Angels. The water one, instead of HP recovery, it's going to get defense, but it's 30% chance. 30% chance are numbers I don't like. That's very inconsistent. Which skill is that even? Okay. 3 hits. 3 times 30, that's not too bad. And this is the one that actually strips, right? Does it? Was this the stripping one? Yeah, this is the stripping one. So, okay. It does have a leader skill. It now has an armor break and then also a stun and stuff. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I think that she might get some... Yeah, I think she will get some more play. So it's a nice setup. I like it. Plus, like, AoE stuns and stuff. But yeah, it could be a decent speed lead. Then we have the fire one, which will get an attack power for 1 turn. Let's see what that one is all about. It's this one. Decrease all allies cooldown. Okay. So it will be attack power for 1 turn on the whole team? I'll increase your attack power for... Why? Well, it is one of those damage dealers that I said had absolutely no damage. But now you have no damage and attack power, like attack power up. So you multiply nothing by 0.5 and then you still have nothing. So I don't think that will change all too much. But it is something. It is something. We also have the Fire, Wind, and Dark one. Removing 1 harmful effect grants immunity. So no more remove for harmful effects, but we grant immunity. Which skill is that? It was actually this one. It's a 4-turn cooldown. Oh, no, wait, that's not that one. Which is the harmful effect removing? This one. Still 4. Okay. That's an interesting... Is it that good for immunity? Still not really liking the fire one. For dark one and the other one maybe so, but for fire one still don't like it. We got Cannon Girl and the A to B reduced goes from 70 to 100. Might be interesting for siege defense. It is used for necro mainly. Can maybe be used a little bit more for a Dragon's team, but it's okay, I guess. And we have the fire one, destroys the target's max speed by 50, okay. Increase the damage for every beneficial effect or harmful effects on the... okay. Does that mean that she's becoming like a PvE kind of unit? Because that's the only thing that I can think of. It does have Wild Shot, so Wild Shot is definitely not a bad skill for PvE related stuff. And then this one is going to be dealing damage from more debuffs. I guess. But still not sure which dungeon you would place this in. Like, elemental-wise, you would mostly be thinking about PC, or not PC, SF. Well, PC, SF, or Necro, maybe. Yeah, she could be a Necro thing, maybe. I don't know. Not too sure about that one. Siege defense, don't really see it happening. We got Emily with a higher stun chance. Yeah, that makes sense. We got Christina with Grants Oblivion. It decreases the Oblivion, or wait, defense. Okay. And then Oblivion for 1 turn. Okay, that's not too bad. She kind of gets her own setup if you Galleon derps, I guess, because I don't see a world where you would use the Christina without a Galleon, so it's maybe just something like if your Galleon derps, you still have like a backup chance. That's something. Then we have the Dalsim Fire, continuous damage for 2 turns. I've never used that unit ever, pretty much. Let's see if that's anything interesting. Wait, Dalsim's is this thing? Is it? No, it's not. That's a cookie. This is Dalsim. This one. Okay. Wait, was it the yoga one? Yoga salsa, this whatever it is. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be used as well. I don't think that is that interesting. Then we have a bunch of Pirette changes, which is somewhat interesting, but let's see what it is. Inflicts continuous damage for 1 turn instead of the... Oh wait, the continuous damage becomes the recovery of the damage dealt, okay. On the Wind and Light. I'm more thinking PvE than PvP with this in the first place, but let's see. Increase the attack bar... Wait. Increase the attack bar by 100% when your HP is full after attacking. Wait, what's the difference? I'm too slow for this at the morning. What the fuck is the difference? Yeah, it's maybe reflect and counter. Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, you heal with the skill. Okay, that's the thing. So you heal with the skill, you end up at 100 HP, and then you start going for it. Okay, fair, I guess. Still not sure if I would like it that much, but it's something, I guess. Don't really see where you would use this towards. Maybe they're like saying like, okay, make this a necro unit or some shit. I don't know. Then we have the wind one, and that's absorb the enemy's attack bar when full HP. Yeah, you're not gonna put that towards giants. It's too much of a multi-hit anyway, so I don't really see this being used as well. Wait, Luna gets to a 4-turn? So you don't have to use weird shenanigans to get Luna's skill back? Wait, that might be some dungeon teams. That might be a giants team right there. Also dragons, because now Luna has the potential to use S3 in both wave 2 and final boss, because normally you had to do some shenanigans for her to get her skill back, and this makes her a lot better. So especially since she was HOH recently, it's pretty nice. Okay, let's look at this one, which is the rapid fire. That's the skill 3, right? Yeah, this is the skill 2 on those, and this is the skill 3 on that. Yeah. It creates a shield. Okay. Always the under inability effect. Wait, why? Okay, increase your attack bar by 10% when you land a critical hit. This makes me so confused. Like, all of this kind of looks like, you can probably use the necro and then you increase attack bar by 10% when you land the critical hits. Like, that you're not gonna put towards necro. I have no clue. So probably they're trying to give us to figure out like a few more PvE teams-ish, because don't really think that this would be anything else than a PvE unit. This one, never actually built it seems. Yeah, the inability effects doesn't really make it a PvE thing, so it's kind of strange on that part. Okay. Then we have Emma, I think. Creates shields. Okay, creates a shield to excessive heal. Okay, nice numbers. I like those. What the fuck is even that? The fire one, and that is decrease the cooldown of attack if the harm. No, okay, nice for early R5s. I think this is definitely a strong one for early R5s. Grants immunity for all allies for 1 turn. That's the one that you use together with the immensity and that kind of stuff if you tend to use it. But I think it hasn't been used that much, or not together with immensity as replacement of immensity. But it hasn't been used for a long time as well, so it's strange. Wait, we got Dorothy that gets a speed lead? Wait, why the hell does Dorothy get a speed lead, bro? Okay, and we have the Kiki one going for a defense lead global. I think that's rather a nerf than a buff. Well, people weren't really putting her on lead in the first place, I guess, but okay. So Dorothy gets a speed lead. That is somewhat interesting because Dorothy becomes the highest damage dealer in the game with a speed lead, because Dorothy actually does have insane damage. Like, she's a meme, but she's kind of getting on the point where she is a meme like Christina used to be a meme, which she's not that bad as people give her credit for being that bad. Like, her damage output is actually insane. The thing is, I was using Dorothy together with Leo to get like the max damage output out there, which is kind of strange if you say like, okay, we go Speedly plus a Leo. It is still doable, but it's not as great. I think then Dorothy would become something like a Tion boosted unit in arena offense or something. But she does have a decent amount of damage output for having a speed lead, I guess. But it's still kind of weird. Then we have, yeah, this one. Then we have the light one getting a accuracy awakening. I think that makes a lot of sense for these things, because I think there were not too much sense making things for this one to be a damage awakening based, while you do nothing really damaging too much. Okay, accuracy on that one makes a lot of sense, and then a bunch of bug fixes. So, yeah, going over balance patch winners, I would say Gargoyles is just a W for the unit being annoying and trash, and I'm totally fine about being that fixed. I would say that the Water Jennifer might be pretty interesting, like upping her rates. I think that that's pretty decent. I would say, I think low-key that Alicia becomes pretty interesting for Rush. I will definitely give her a try and Rush against speed teams, because I definitely do think that that would become pretty interesting. You still have to get like a decent amount of accuracy into land the freezes, but if you're doing like 35 chance AoE, it's pretty decent, I guess. Fire Trish might do pretty good damage as well. I think she's pretty decent to have in there as well. I'm not too sure if the Coco would become a little bit more interesting because of recovering itself. Maybe has like a little bit more solo potential, but still not that great, I guess. These were all not that interesting. I will definitely give the Devil Maiden a try for the dot team in arena offense. I think it's pretty decent for that. I'm not too sure about all of the Indras. I'm not too sure about like Ifrits and those kind of things. Paladins neither. The Chimera changed a little bit nice for siege defense, I guess. Twins Angel changed. I think the water one might become pretty interesting. So Scribble Bibble's probably pretty happy about it, especially since he tend to use this together with a Yan Hong. So Yan Hong with a defense break setup is pretty strong for him. Amir, a dumb buff. It's kind of strange, but he does damage on enemy debuff. So it kind of makes sense to up his damage with like a useless debuff-ish. Then the pirates and stuff I all don't really understand except for the Luna. The Luna one makes a lot of sense, and we're definitely going to be crafting dungeon teams on this. Also, if you were running the old dungeon team with the Homu instead of the, or like Homu moving first and Luna moving first, after this balance patch, it's going back to Luna moving first, Homu moving second. In, well, they move like 4th and 5th or whatever. But it will be best to have Luna moving in front of your homunculus in this case. Sophia kind of crazy. I'm not sure if Sophia becomes that crazy. Maybe Sophia is kind of interesting for a, what's it called? Like solo R5 team setup-ish, whatever. I don't know. Like besides that, solo R5, it might become interesting-ish, but I'm not too sure. Luna better than Lynn for Giants? After balance patch, for sure, 100%. And now we have Dorothy with a speed lead for whatever reason, and this thing does actually make sense. So, is the balance patch really big? No, it's not really big. It's also interesting that not like one random LD5 is buffed to Oblivion, what they normally really like to do, right? So we don't see any of those. But it's, I would say, arguably a decent balance patch. Is super crazy or anything out there? No, not really. It's nothing really too crazy or too meta breaking or anything like that. I'm not surprised that we already see the these units in there, but I would say that I expected more of the units from the Witcher collab to be in there, because especially the L&Ds are pretty bad. Like Dark Geralt is bad. I would arguably say even the Wind or like the Light Geralt's pretty bad. The series are kind of shit, so yeah, I guess so. But I would say I would say it's kind of 50-50 on people really hoping for like a specific unit be getting nerfed. Like I would say Veronica nerf, maybe Laura nerf. A lot of people are asking for Hey Gang nerf, which I think y'all are all like hella overrating Hey Gang. Like you can disagree with me all you like, but that's probably because some people out there saying like, Ooh, Hagang is the most OP unit out there. I don't know, man. Like, would you really nerf a unit that has a win rate of like, what, 48%? Like, the win rate is already bad. Like, it's nothing crazy. Like, sure, in lower ranks, it's maybe harder to deal with, but wait, let me log in this one real quick. Because if we check like the statistics on this, we have to go for last season. Let's go even. Let's just go last patch. Last patch. Let's check out Hey Gang, right over here. So, any rank in Conqueror, Hey Gang is high on win rate. Makes sense. This one, it's not even 50-50. Doesn't change Punisher. Okay, Punisher, it's pretty high, and then G3, it actually drops down. So, in G3, it's 46.81 win rate. Why the fuck should that be nerfed? Like, for G3 people, definitely not. Arguably, for, like, G1 people, maybe so. But the unit is really not that crazy. Like, sure, it has pretty high pick rate and it has pretty high win rate, but it's not, like, much higher, or like, Oliver is a higher win rate. Cigar is, like, pretty much similar. There's a lot of units similar. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It could be hard countering you, and therefore it might look insane. But it's really depending on what playstyle you play. It's the same as that you could say ban rate, though. Yeah, ban rate is a little bit higher, but then it's still not like... If we look at it G3-wise, it's probably popping up somewhere here. If we look at it G3-wise, and we would say the 5-5, yeah, it's literally like popping up here. It's as good as Antares. It's just less spammed. Well, Miles nerf is one of the other interesting things as well. Miles in G3 has one of the lowest win rates out there as well. It neglects a lot of units. It's not fun for the meta. I would say that if you remove a unit like Hey Gang, other units would become too OP. I think Hey Gang is just one of those units that kind of keeps units in check. I think Hey Gang is useful for that. Could you get like a slide tune down? Maybe so, but is it really needed? I don't know. In the end, he doesn't have crazy results, at least not in G3. In G1, he has like pretty decent results, I would say. But it's the same thing as saying like Leo's the most OP unit. Yeah, if you draft a team that's hard counted by Leo, then Leo feels like the strongest unit for you out there. Layla needs a nerf. Layla win rate is also not that crazy. And we got Sasuke with a primer as well. Appreciate it. So yeah, I would say that Hey Gang nerf is not really the most dominant nerfs. I think for the normal elements, everything is kind of fine-ish except for Miles in lower ranks. But that's just the thing, like, do you balance according to low ranks or high ranks? That's always hard to say, right? Because in Conqueror ranks, people just spam Rakuni Miles and it works. Like, you can see all units that don't need any rune quality, they work in low ranks. Like Shizuka, Miles, Rakuni. I feel like Vanessa needs a slight nerf. I don't know. Yeah, only thing you could do to Vanessa is make her cooldown longer on S3, I guess. Because if you kill something, she does have her skill 3 back up really fast. But overall, I would say for balance patch wise, I don't think the balance patch is necessarily bad, but I also don't think it's crazy good. Like, I was expecting a little bit more changes. We get a few changes here and there. It's kind of okay-ish, but there's nothing too crazy. Is Lisa team up possible in Necro with Chikara shit? She's okay. She's okay. It's just that her cooldown on the skill 3 is pretty lengthy. She does have multi-hit on skill 1, skill 2, so it is definitely a possibility for an early team. The usefulness for Martina, not that much at the moment. But in lower ranks, there's 90% of the players. Fair, fair. But then again, even at the lower ranks of players, like even if we just check purely at Conqueror, Hey Gang has a decent win rate, but if we compare it to the Fire Monkey is stronger. Right? So, I don't know. Or Shizuka is stronger. Should we nerf Shizuka because she's good at... Well, I don't mind nerfing Shizuka. She's a Luxac unit, but that is me. Yeah, I think like maybe a slight tune down on Hey Gang is okay, but I don't claim Hey Gang as like the strongest unit in game. Absolutely not. It's a good unit. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not calling the unit bad or anything. I'm just saying it's not crazy good. And I was spamming Hey Gang before it even got buffed. Different metas, different times. Okay, I think that's all there is for the balance patch. Theo buff fucks up his 21-second R5 right now. That might be true. Wait a minute. You're right on that. That actually does. That's fucking annoying. Fuck, then you need like a Federica on it or some other unit with it. Then you're gonna need some other unit with crit rate. Wait, what is another unit that could die and has crit rate? Common. CR. Juno. Yeah, Juno's not great for that either. This you can't use. 21 is an option. Ginger Brave. How much does Ginger Brave have? Yeah, I guess Ginger Brave. Get a level 1 Ginger Brave. I think that's literally the best option. Because that's the only one that's 24 that's not... Like, if you can work with a 19, like a Hua or something is fine. But if you really need the 24, then I guess getting a Ginger Brave is probably the best option. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab, which has the dungeon guide archive and the video guide archive, which contains all of the guides that you need. Hope to see you there.